let's move on to the most important thing. I want to give you a scenario here. This is in a library in Queensland, won't mention which one. I want to give you the scenario that's happening here. You got the person on the left-hand side who is holding up a camera and is talking to the librarian on the right-hand side. Let's just call them Jack and Jill. Makes things easy. Jack is holding the camera. Jill is the person who's the librarian wearing the mask. Now, right at this point here, when you have a look at how this situation happens, you're probably wondering a couple of things. Firstly, why is he holding a camera? Why is he filming? What's his purpose? What's his goal? The second thing I'm asking myself is that what's brought her up to him? So in this stage here, no violence has happened. No aggression, no raising voices. There's been nothing that has prompted an emergency services person, whether it's police, fireys, healthcare worker, of security, to come and take this man away. So the situation was this. Jack walks into the library and starts filming the library. So he holds up his camera, he starts filming around, and one of the customers walks up to the librarian and says to the librarian, "Excuse me, there's a man over there taking pictures. I don't want my photo to be taken." So the librarian, Jill, looks up, sees the man at the distance, taking pictures, videoing, and now takes it into her own hands to deal with the situation. Right there, the conflict should never have happened between Jill and Jack. There should have been zero conflict. The conflict that happened was between customer who approached Jill and asked Jill to do something that Jill did not want to do. So what's happened is that the customer has now passed on her anxiety to you, the service provider, to deal with a situation that is not a situation. This is not a situation, but will become a situation because Jill has decided to tell Jack something or make Jack know that there's something that he's doing that's upsetting people. So here's what I would like you to do. I want you to, now that you know the bit of the scenario, what are you thinking? And in your head, I want you to think your absolute truth. Make those assumptions that you have to. Make those judgments if you have to. We know that's not the right thing to do, but I want you to make them. I'm going to ask this question here. How will you approach this situation? So the approach will be, I'm going to thank the customer and I'm going to casually come from behind my desk or from my office and I'm going to casually walk up to this gentleman with, a beaming smile, which in this case she couldn't do because she's now masked her face with 3/4 of her expression. She's only got her eyes left. So how will you approach this situation? Calm. I'm going to go in there, guns a-blazers, tell him what the rules and regulations are of this council here. I want to know what your introduction is. That's normal. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Hey, you. What are you doing? What's happening, brother? What's going on, mate? What sort of camera you got there? I don't know. I don't know what your introduction is. This is where you'll tell me how you would approach this situation and what your introduction is. And then the big one, excuse me, is what will be your opening statement? So after you do, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Let's go with morning. Okay. Good morning, sir. What's going to be your opening statement? And I'll give you some examples. Your opening statement could be something, or question, could be something like, do you have permission to take video in here? That's a question. A statement could be, good morning, sir. You're not allowed to film in here. That's a statement. Another question could be, sir, can I ask, is there something that you would like in here to film? Another statement could be, people are upset that you're filming in here. So your goal right now is to, and I think I may have let me just check quickly. I may have a screen that, hang on 2 seconds. I may have a screen that you will be able to answer those in. Let me just see. And that is, oh, well, I've actually got this question here. This is a good question. Great question. I've got this here. Open up that link again. Let me know if you don't have the link and I'll repopulate it. The question here is, do you need consent from people if you want to take photos of them in a public space, whether it's the library, whether it's the art center or the pool? So just take a moment. You'll see, I'll put it up on the screen so you can all see it, what the response is and what you are all saying. So you can go, really? Oh, okay. Why would we say that? Let me just put that there. Where is it? Here it is here. All right. So far, 54% of people are saying, or 47, it's going to change every now and then. 47, we got nearly 50% of people saying, yes, you need consent from people if you want to take a photo of them in a public space. 38% go, no, you don't need consent. And then there's 13% that are going, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Do they? Well, hopefully he answers this question for me. So there's one. If you haven't answered it just yet, there's the question again. I'll leave it up for another 30 seconds. We'll come back to it and have a look. Do you need consent from people if you want to take a photo of them in a public space, whether it's the library, the art center, the pool, or the beach? So that might even widen the scope. Pool, oh God, library, I thought, yes, but pool, beach. All right. So it's nearly an even match between yes and no and some of the not sures. All right, we will come back to that response later. So let's go back to, if we wouldn't mind, let's bring that up. Just in your head, what are you thinking? How are you going to approach the situation? What is your introduction? And what will be your opening statement question? Take a moment to maybe jot something down. If there's a person sitting next to you sharing a computer, just mute yourself, have a chat to that person. What would you say? If there's anyone in the group that has, Gerald, I've got a response for you straight away. I know how to handle this. I've dealt with this person before. Give it to me. Sarah writes a great comment here, by the way, in the chat. Have a look in the chat every now and then. You can see what people are writing. Sarah writes, working in hospitality builds resilience. Yeah, certainly does. Certainly does. Working in libraries, I think, builds resilience. I think working in anywhere where you have a customer-facing interaction builds resilience. Would anyone like to give this a go on how you would handle that situation? Again, Jack walks in with a camera, not aggressive, not intrusive in his eyes. Remember what I said before? He is right. We are wrong. In this initial instance, keep that in mind. I agree with what he's doing. It's just that our system doesn't allow it. It's how you come up with a response now that will tell me it'll de-escalate or escalate the situation. This is really important. Your first interaction with Jack is going to tell me whether you're going to escalate the situation, and I will be Jack. I'll be very calm. I will be Jack. Somebody's just written, hi, welcome to the library. Is there anything I can help you with? I'm going to answer that for you. I will be Jack. Pauline's written, can I help you with anything today? Great. These are great questions. These are great questions. If you have something, hi, Gerald, I would approach with curiosity. What is he filming and why? Ooh, okay, that's good. I have answers for all of these because we actually set up this scenario. We did. Now, if you can see my T-shirt, I wear this often when I'm doing these sessions. It's the self-test. Now, the self-test is whatever it is that you're going to say or do, will it stand up to scrutiny? Which means, will you be on the front page of the Courier Mail? Exactly that. Somebody's filming. He's going to scrutinize this. This will go up on YouTube. I can tell you that now. This, by your interaction, will go up on YouTube. And then other people will scrutinize the video and say that you're right or that you're wrong. They will do this. Or it'll go further and it'll be on Tracy Grimshaw's The Current Affair, or Ali Langdon now. I don't know who's on. E, is it ethical, what it is that you're about to say? L, is it legal, what you're about to say? And F, are you being fair? Somebody's just written here, Kaylee's just written, good morning. That looks interesting. What are you filming? Are you making a, I missed that one. Let me just bring that up a bit. Are you making a documentary on libraries? And then go from there to lead into consent, etc. Beautiful, like that. Don't know if you're right, though. About to find out. Sam says, hi, welcome to the library. I see that I see that you have a camera in your hand. Are you filming something exciting? I understand you might want to film here, but we have had some people mention that they're uncomfortable. Do you mind filming somewhere else? I've got answers for all these. I'm going to be Jack. I will be Jack. And to give you the heads up, I will be polite. I'm going to be polite, Jack. Let's see how we go with that. Carly's written, hi, how are you today? I would like to introduce myself and say something like, I can see that you're filming with your phone. Is there something particular that you're interested in at the library? So we're all coming up with some very similar, and some people have liked your responses. And I like that. Ravenshoe just wrote down, good morning. And that's good. It's good morning, just that. Just good morning. And wait for my response. I like that. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, mate. And then where do we go from there? All right, let me answer some of those. Here's what is not going to work. Okay, let me give you what is not going to work. De-escalation skills, spelt correctly, escalation, skills that don't work. Don't debate. Don't ask questions why, like why are you filming?
Oh.
Don't jump to conclusions. Oh, I bet you he's filming for whatever. Don't rush the situation. You've got all the time in the world. No one's asking you to hurry this situation up. Don't use sarcasm. Well, that's a cheap camera. Don't criticize and blame. Oh, it's people like you that are the conspiracy theorists around the world. Don't impose your value judgments. This is really important. We all have judgments. We all have value judgments. How we deal with the elderly, how we deal with young people, how we deal with mental illness. We all have our own values. Don't nag and preach. Don't do that. And don't counterpunch. Counterpunch is really easy. Counterpunch is one of these things where you go, oh yeah, if you film, I'm going to film too. That's a counterpunch where you've now brought yourself right down to that person's level. Hi, sorry to interrupt. You're perfectly fine to film, but we've had some people who would prefer not to be filmed. Would you mind doing your best to not film them? It would help me greatly. Thanks. Brody, I would say that is pretty much the response. Pretty much the response. Now, let me go back to the others. And the reason why I'll say that Brody's response is a good response. Brody's just made a statement. Hi, look, sorry to interrupt. That's great. Sorry to interrupt you. Look, just to let you know, you're perfectly fine to film, but we've had some people who would prefer not to be filmed. Would you mind doing your best to not film them? It would help me greatly. Does anyone see anything in that statement that's aggressive? Well, just think about the statement. He's asked for a request, which is you're allowed to do that. But just keep in mind, some people are getting a little bit upset with being on camera. Do your best just to move everywhere else. Now, let me just go back to some of the other ones, and I'll make it easy. With the first one here, I think First Five Forever wrote this. Hi, welcome to the library. Is there anything I can help you with? Okay, with that response there, what if Jack just turned around and said, no, all good. Now you're going to have to answer to that. Or what are you going to do? So First Five Forever, you haven't got your camera on. That's okay. But if you wouldn't mind just throwing your audio up, if you have audio, that'd be great. Turn on your audio. And with that, if you don't want to answer the question, that's okay. Just go, look, I'm not interested. But If you now come to me and you go, hi, welcome to the library, is there anything that I can help you with? And I go, no, thanks, I'm all good. What do you say after that?
That's fine. We've just got some people here, pretty much what Brody had said. I honestly didn't think of that. But I do know he is fine to film. It's not illegal in Queensland to take photos and film people. So, yeah, I just go, okay, if that's fine, just um, we've got some people here. Would you mind not filming them? They're not comfortable. And probably just end with, let me know if there's anything you need help with or something like that.
Well done. What is your name, by the way? First five
Oh,
forever.
I'm Sue, and we've got Marianne here. There's two of us here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, makes it easy. So that's great response. Is there anything I can help you with? No. Oh, look, that's fine. Just wanted to let you know that there may be some people here that are a bit uncomfortable. Let me know if you need anything. Now, I want somebody to question that because Sue just said something which is really unusual in a session like this. She said, he's allowed to film. It's not illegal to film. Yet, if I have a look back in my responses, I can see, you won't be able to see it, but I can see 41% of people said, no, they can't. And 41%, yes, they can. So we've got a battle on our hands. And 18% just go, well, I'll need the answer right now. So, Sue, what makes you think that they can film?
We actually had a situation here in the library, and so our powers that be investigated it, and they do have the right to film and take photos in public spaces. You can't stop them. So yeah, it was becoming a bit of an issue here. So yeah, that's come down from above.
Yep. Well
Yeah,
done.
it
Well
is.
done. Is anyone, and I want us to be crystal clear on this, like crystal clear, because there will be some people, this is where your value judgments come in, where you say, no, they shouldn't be allowed. And I think somebody said something about getting consent. There was, I can't find it, but there was find out if the person has got consent or they have to get permission from the other person. You're absolutely right. The question is, do you need, is a person allowed to film in a public space such as a pool, a beach, or a library, or an art center, cultural center? And the answer is yes. They have every right because the response. Go on, somebody was going to jump in.
Oh no, sorry, just Louise here. So, does that mean they can film, like, sort of? So they can film specific people, So, I mean, if they were in the library and they were filming the books or they were filming the carpet or whatever, but so they can film a specific, or they can take a photograph of a specific person in the library because that person is in a public space.
Simple answer is yes.
Is that right? Oh,
simple
okay,
answer
I
is
didn't know that.
simple answer is yes.
Okay,
And
wow.
Sam has just written here also, they need consent to share to social media channels, etc. What's the answer to that?
Oh,
what's the answer to that? So Sam's written that. That's a definitive statement. Well, Sam's written yes. Sam put the question down and yes, I agree with me. Kaylee says yes. They need consent to share on social media. So what about I don't know, I watched Carl Stefanovic this morning and he did on the street interview and there were people in the background that were just walking past and I saw their face. I'm guessing that the camera crew went to every single person and said, hey, you're about to be on the news. I need consent from you to be on the news. So and they're in a public space. So do they need consent? The answer is no.
No. Okay.
The answer is no. This is hard. This is hard. Once we get the understanding that what you can see with your eyes, you can film in a public space becomes real.
So does that change when there's an interaction? So if that person, so how this staff member was having the interaction then with the customer and it becomes a one-on-one interaction, does that then change or they still have the
still
the same because you're in a public?
Yep. Say for example, Carly, you come up to me and say, and I've got my camera stuck up like this and you go, please don't film me. The thing there is that you walked up to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it? Yeah.
You came to me. I didn't come to you and film you. Yet I could do that. I could if I wanted to. That would be rude, inconsiderate. disrespectful. That would be, it's just not normal, is it? But a person has every right to do that. Is anyone still confused with that? Let me just up it one more. Are you allowed to film children? Just put a yes or a no.
I was just about to ask that. Does the inclusion of minors affect that at all?
Anyone want to answer that? Does the inclusion of minors? Kaylee says, I really hope the answer is
I
no.
do too.
They would need parental consent. You can film, listen to this one, what Pauline has written. You can film anyone in a public space. That is the correct answer. Now, what's happening right now is that you're probably getting internal conflict in your head, which is, this is not right, Gerald. This is not right. But this will save you so much grief when you see things that are, again, will it stand up to scrutiny? Is it ethical? It's probably not an ethical thing to do, but is it legal? Yes, it's legal for this person to be able to do that. And that's a tough part. That's the tough part. If the police can wear body-worn camera, your local laws people can wear body-worn camera, some of your waste departments, and you also have cameras all around the library and in council, you have cameras everywhere, everywhere. King George Square, Mackay Centre, Townsville Strand. You got cameras everywhere. Should we then say take them all down? So this is why the courts, the law states it very clearly. Does anyone, before we move on, because I've got a response for this, and Brodie and a couple of other people have really knocked this on the head with being correct in their response. That's the best response. It's the best response that doesn't escalate a situation. Once you start asking questions like why are you filming? You know, what is it that you're doing here? You know, there are people here that are, you know, that don't want you to film in here. Because if a person came up to me and said, there's a woman over there that doesn't want her to, you know, she doesn't want to be filmed, I'd say, ask her to leave. She can leave. Oh, no, she wants you to leave. Oh, so I have to leave. If she doesn't want to be filmed, why can't she leave? No. Because we want her here. We just don't want you here. You see how discriminative that is? Does anyone have any final responses on this? I know it's difficult, but now that you know the answer, it must give you some relief. It must give you some pause to be able to say, at least I know it's legal. I don't like it, but it's legal.
So then if, say, a library had their own rule about, say, videotaping.
Yep. Doesn't work.
Is that enforceable?
I have a rule on the front of my house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no junk mail. It's a rule. I get junk. So can I take them to court and sue them? No, it's a polite thing. The rules on your wall, your 10 commandments of the library rule will state this. 99% of people will look at that and go, oh, no filming. Oh, okay. And they will put their camera away. 99% of people that you walk up to, you know, at a cultural show, in the cinema, and you say, sir, you can't film in here, 99% will put their camera away. They will, because they're just polite people. I would. I go, oh.
Yeah.
And I know I don't have to, but we're polite. It's the 1%ers. You know that. It's the 1%ers that won't stand 1.5 meters apart, that won't show their QR code, that won't put their mask on. That they're the ones that we have conflict with. So to answer your question, Josh, is the rules are there as a preventative measure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So work within the rule. Anyone else? We'll finish off with this because we've got so much more to go on. But I'm glad that we did this, this little exercise. Last one. Yeah, where Sarah wrote they would need parental consent. No, they don't. I know it's difficult, isn't it? You're all confused now. You're all going, well, what am I going to do now? So let's just give you an example of what you could say. Here is an example. You get to the customer before the customer gets to you. And I think Brodie really hit the nail on the head with this one here. You just say something like, good morning, sir, madam. Look, I noticed that you were taking videos. By the way, we don't have an issue with that, but could I just ask you that you be mindful that there may be some people that could take offense to you taking images of them or even their children. Mate, I hope you get some great shots. If you need me for anything, I'll be over there.
Okay.